Hello there. So today I wanted to code together with you one feature that is already in the homepage of the Cherry website, and we had it before. We had to drop, and now I'm willing to put it back again. And it's the top contributors. Currently, we already have something similar. It's the contributions, but we wanted to show as well the top contributors to a certain metric. That's especially useful when you're a new joiner or you just started working on a new metric and like migration to TypeScript, and you want to identify who are the guys or girls that have been migrating a lot of TypeScript so I can reach out to them if I have questions. That's the goal with this feature. And so let's try to make it happen. So here I'm running on localhost. All the data is anonymized, so I can load the projects. And I think we had Cherry Tender that has Abanda. And here we have the latest contribution, so 43 minutes ago. And people are usually removing this metric, at least lately, so it's getting down. And we want to know who has been contributing the most to the metric. Um, and that's it. So let's try and see how we can make it happen. So first of all, we want to add it somewhere. I think it's gonna be, we can start by adding a table here at the left, even if it's at the top of contributions. So we can start by there. So let's see where contributions is placed. So this is our component, and if we look for where it's used, it's here, and it's inside a column here, column span 1, and we're gonna add something like top contributors, and it's probably gonna need project name and metric ID, but for now we're we're not gonna, well, we're gonna pass it. And contributions we're gonna duplicate. We're gonna call it top contributors, and we're gonna remove most of the stuff. So for now, let's take actually nothing here. It takes nothing as params, and it returns something. Let me just console log nothing. And top contributors. And so contributions, no. Actually, the contributions could have been helpful here. Let me just see what we do with that. Yeah, contributions, use contributions index, metric ID. Actually, this is useful. So we can do this. Let's console log contributions, length. And then we want to contributions to show no. Yeah, we want to rename this to top contributors. Let's add a Trophium. These are our champions. It's not commit author, it's his or her name. There's only gonna be two columns, I guess, and the second one's gonna be diff, which is how much they contributed. Contributions to show, no, this is gonna be contributors, map, contributor. I don't know how to say that properly. It's gonna be an ID, I guess. Let's take a look at the schema and contributors. It's, well, they're gonna be users or not? Not really, right? Because contributions, they don't have a direct assignment to users. So we're gonna have to group by name or email. I don't even know what's better. I think I'm gonna stick to name because inside a company, it's more likely that you have different emails because sometimes you commit with your personal email, sometimes you commit with a GitHub email or your company email. So I'm gonna stick to name. So we're gonna pick the contributions, and the contributors, they're gonna be a contribution, they're gonna have a name, yeah, and a diff, and then we're gonna have to group them. Let's take just that for now, and this goes like that. I can actually remove this, and we're gonna iterate over contributors, and in the left there's not gonna be a tooltip, or maybe could we could have a tooltip with the email, but let's not do this right now. So contributor name, and then we're gonna keep the contributor diff. On click, we're not gonna do anything. Oh, and we would probably need an ID, and the ID is gonna be the author name, but we need to group them first. So for now, I'm just gonna keep the contribution ID, just so we're gonna have duplicates, but that's not a problem for now. I don't wanna have this slicing thing, so all of that can be removed. And contributions length equals 0, no contributors yet. Contributors, and that's okay. And this is good. Metric ID, so we're gonna need a metric ID, so we're gonna pass the metric ID on here. And what did they use the project name for? Oh, okay, just for that. So we're gonna not gonna need this. Let's see what it looks like for now. It's probably broken, but we're gonna see what breaks. It's received true for a non-boolean attribute button. Oh, that's surprising. Where is this? Button component. Damn, where is this? Uh, top contributors not defined. Yeah, sure. That's better. So we come here and we're just gonna import top contributors, and cannot read property of undefined reading map. Yeah, of course, because while it's loading, we could just, if not contributions, return no. Okay, so here we have contributions and top contributors. I'm gonna put top contributors at the top. Where are the top contributors? It's here. I'm just gonna move that there. Top contributor is gonna be here, and so it's at the top. Now I also want to um, not here, well, yeah, here actually. So I'm gonna add a class name of marge button 3, and so I'm gonna have to pass it through and add it Here, I'm actually gonna just add it here. Margin button 3, whatever. It's only used once. Okay, now I have a little space, and I also want to slice it to only the first 3, but first I want to group them. Um, Group by name, map. Da, da, da. We don't need the ID anymore. That's good, but we want the opposite, I guess. Let's see, and I don't think we have this here. I think we're gonna need Lodash. Okay. Um, when we group by name and then we map, is that really what we... console.log contributors. Ah, okay. Contributors. And then we want to map. I think it's rather name and contributions, right? And so the name is going to be the name, and the div is going to be contributions reduce sum contribution div 0. That's exactly. Contributions to reduce, not a function. So it was right. Copilot was right. Nice. So we only have 5, and the diffs are correct. Do they make sense? If we check Nobuko, he had 4. Lucas had 3. But actually we want, as I said, we want the opposite. So we want A minus B. Exactly. So we want people who have removed the most, and that's correct. So we have our top 5 contributors, and the contributions. We can maybe rename contributions to recent contributions. Or even recent commits, so it's more specific. And that looks good, actually. Huh. Oh, there is one problem that I've just realized, actually, when you go to the contributions controller here in user, it returns the default limit, you see? It's limited to 20 people. So what we want is the all-time. Haha. So maybe we're going to add a new endpoint. It's going to be better. And we return to the front end exactly what it needs. So next to contributions, So let's add the new endpoint right now. Okay. So for the endpoint, we're going to create a new controller. I'm going to duplicate this, and it's going to be a contributors controller. And this is going to be here, contributors controller. Before action, set contributions only, index no, default limit no limit. And so we're going to need contributions equals this. If params metric IDs, metric ID, set contributions. Why isn't it just contributions? And then we can make this contributions. And so what we want to render is contributions.map contribution and we want, actually it's the same as the front end, right? So the top contributors here, what we did is we took only these two, but we don't need to do that. We can just go straight to group by name and we can map. Okay, so group by author name, and then we can map author name contributions. And we can return a name, author name, and diff contribution sum diff. I think that's it. So in our front end and the top contributors thing, we are just gonna take contributors directly. It's gonna be use contributors index. Here, if there are no contributors, then we are gonna if there are no contributors, we're gonna return null. This can be removed. Yeah. Then we're gonna log them. And so we need to go to the contributions query and we're gonna duplicate this too. This is gonna be contributors. And here we're in the React query hook. So I like to follow the standard which follows exactly the backend. So use contributors index that takes a metric ID that is optional as param, and we make the use query. This is the query key. The query key is extracted into a function. This should not conflict with the other, so we make it unique. Then we get the contributors JSON, we pass the metric ID, and we get the data. That should be it. So in our contributors controller, we do have what we want, I guess. Let's see in the interface. Use contributors index. Yeah, okay. So this is not defined yet. Not imported. We're going to import it now. So something broke. 404 not found. Yeah, because we didn't define the route. So if we go to contributions, not the API, it's this one, and we refresh, Now we should have a response, and we have a 500, and the 500 says what here? Initialized constant contributors controller. Of course, my friend, of course. Ah, no, I don't know. Default limit. Okay, default limit because we don't want the limit. Refresh. So top contributors are not sorted. So we mapped them, and now we're gonna sort by cdiff reverse. Actually, we're not gonna reverse apparently. Cool. And we're gonna take the first 5. So top 5 contributors. And that looks pretty good actually. That's exactly what I want. And so the backend is doing almost all of the work. And here we have just what we need for the front end. This looks good, huh? Top contributors, recent commits. If that's the case, we're gonna keep it like that. Should we rename it to recent commits, contributions, top contributors? Contributions are definitely commits, so it should actually be renamed. Recent commits. So this is recent commits. This is recent commits. And so here, contributions, recent commits. And we should import that. And project name is not required. True. And what is that? Rename may not exist on type username string. Okay, I'm not gonna fix TypeScript errors right now. This still works. That's good. I think that's pretty much it. Now we can maybe add a test. So close all. Oh shit. Close all. And let's go to contributions test. For instance, this is the API metric test system. I'm gonna duplicate this and we're gonna say contributors test. Or I think we can maybe just expand this. Contributions, assert text, contributions, occurrences, apply filter, my contributions. Let's stop at the end of the test and see what is there already. And if we can just add a couple of assertions instead of adding a whole new integration test. Ha! Expected to find contributions, true, because it's not contributions anymore, it's recent commits. We relaunch the test. Oh, he's already in my contributions. Apply filters. Maybe we should stop here in the beginning. Here. So we can assert top contributors, and this is recent commits. And we can assert here then that assert text, top contributors, assert text. Let me check Flavinho. Ah, 48. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, it does. Uh, but it's shown twice here. And how can I make sure? So maybe I'm gonna create two contributions. Create contribution, and we're gonna say diff 12, diff minus 10, and minus 12. And here I want to have Flavinho minus 22. So let's relaunch this. Let me just put the binding pride before that. Mm, mm. Okay, so this is the minus 22 that I was expecting. Does it work? Yeah, it does. So let's just continue the test. Oh, I need to fix this. It doesn't work like that. Okay, abort, and let's launch without this. You know what? I think I'm just gonna stick to contributions. So I'm gonna rename it back because otherwise we're gonna have different names for everything. No, but it's so much more intuitive. Recent commits. That's what it is. You even have a commit SHA. If you click, you open the commit. So I think we're good here. Let me just try in a project where there's no top contributor. So I don't know, adventures, this, no contributions, no contributors yet. That makes sense. And if I go to, what was it? Adventures, lucky tender, and this, everyone has minus one. Wow, okay. Samba Jorli has nothing. Abanda was really good. Can I have something big like this? Água de beber. Yeah. You know what? That's really good. I'm And we have the tests. Let's just see if we didn't break anything else. And we probably did because there's definitely another contributions assertion somewhere, like here, recent commits. And here it's good. So this is probably the test that I just fixed. Yes. And this is another one. What failed here? Found three elements match invisible. What? Ah, okay, makes sense. Let's just match first and relaunch this test. Cool. This one works, and the other one is this that we also fixed. We're almost done. Nice. So if, where am I? Okay, let me just go here. It's easier to see everything that's been done. Well, we're gonna change it a little bit more. I don't like the way it is here. So these are contributions, and then we include the project, but we don't use the project, so we can remove that. The strict loading, I don't think we need this here. The order by commit date, we don't use that. As JSON, we don't need it. So we don't need any of these. And this should be good. So let's see if it still works. Refresh. And it does. So we mapped, we sorted, we took first. This is good. And if we get a metric ID, but for now, we always need the metric ID. So we could also just remove that and say that params metric is required. So we can params dot require metric ID. So we authorize the project and then we say that metric dot contributions is returned and it's used here. Cool. Refresh. And it still works, but it's much better now. Okay, what else? Here looks good. We passed the metric ID. That's all we need. Same here, but it's not typed. So top contributors. It's weird that it doesn't complain about why isn't it complaining? I don't know. Anyways, next contributors. Looks good. We use this, we use this. Oh, this is something new that I added to anonymize the database. These are the tests that we changed and all of that should be okay now. And so I'm not going to commit to master. I'm going to create a branch and this is going to be add top contributors. And I'm going to commit. And I'm going to create a branch. And if everything passes, we're going to merge. And we're back and everything is green and we're good to merge. And so that's when it goes to production. Squash and merge, confirm squash, and that should be up and running in a couple of minutes and production. That's it for today. If there's anything that we've passed by in the live that would interest you, like React query hooks or testing Rails applications or something else, just drop a message below. And if that's interesting to you, I can record another video only for that. Well, cheers. See ya.